Hello everyone. So today I am quickly covering some simple syntax and logic errors. Here's a list of what this video is going to be covering. Semicolon errors should be the easiest errors to find. The moment you forget one, depending on the IDE, will get highlighted right away. However, be careful about putting one after an if statement. If you notice, the body will always execute. In general, unless you know what you're doing, make sure not to put a semicolon after if statements or loops unless you know what you're doing. Here, x is clearly less than 10. However, if we run it, you'll notice that the system out print will still work. Why is this? Well, this is because the if statement is being cut off from the curly brackets. And if we go and remove it, you'll notice that nothing appears. Basically, the semicolon detaches the if statement from the body itself. The semicolon, if you place it here, basically says this is all that the if statement is supposed to do, which we don't want. The assignment operator gets mixed up with the equals operator very often. The assignment operator is a command, meaning set a value on the right to a variable on the left, while an equals operator asks a question, is this equal to this? Mixing these two operators up, for example inside of if statements or loops, will produce a compiler error. You cannot use an equals operator on strings. This is because strings are very different compared to integers, for example. Strings are reference variables similar to scanner and system, while ints, shorts, chars, and others are primitives. You must use an equals method on reference variables. Notice that using the normal equals operator won't create any errors. This is because these two values are not being compared based on necessarily their contents, but based on whatever objects that they're referencing. It would be better to have this. Using a equals method needs to be used for strings in order to consistently get the correct expected output. You also need to use equals method on all other reference variables that I listed in the previous slide. Most of the time, parentheses are used for expressions like if statements, loops, and complex math and Boolean operations. They help making the expressions easier to read by saying to do the innermost operation first. This can, in fact, also affect the resulting output. Notice that these two past slides will use similar values, but when implementing parentheses, will change the output of those. Square brackets are primarily used for arrays, while curly brackets are used to indicate bodies of code. There are certain names they cannot use for variable names, such as new, int, char, for, byte, boolean, and many others. These are called keywords. You will get many very bizarre errors if you try using any of these incorrectly. So those were some common syntax and logic errors in Java. Feel free to give me some feedback. If you want to, you can subscribe, and see you in the next video.